Talking all that bullshit. I'ma put it to you like this, yo.
This is for the nerds, this is for the brainiacs, this what we deserve. Go ahead and play it back, you ain't gonna touch me, you not gonna do nothing, you are not above me. I bet you wish you was me, I know it, I know.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Only Friends podcast. Sans Conrad Simpson. I know that intro is so much smoother without him. I could just feel it in my soul. Today we're joined by the usual Tuesday cast. It's one Melissa Schubert. We're getting rid of the nickname. I think I'm gonna phase it out.
That's fair.
I'm just gonna phase it out for you.
Shubes?
Okay.
Yeah, Shubes.
I'm getting too
Shubes
old for
is
that,
here.
maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe Shubes dog, Melissa.
Yeah.
If you will.
Yeah.
I think that handle is probably available.
Probably.
At Shubes dog.
Well, I tried to get my full name handle.
Yeah,
and then the lady tried to scam me.
Well, is it scamming or is it?
How much did she want?
She wanted like $100.
$100?
That
Just
seems
do
reasonable.
Yeah, but I didn't. It was on principle. Like she tried to upcharge me.
Yeah, but without spending that $100, you forever remain poo dog.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm stubborn. So.
All right, chat. Let's go. Let's raise $100 for Melissa.
No,
to get a
it's
real
not the money. It's
name.
the principle.
Yeah. Right. But if somebody else pays it for you,
How long ago was this?
Maybe like a year ago.
So it's 200 now.
Yeah.
especially if she's watching the show. I mean,
And she's like, it's not even her real name. It's her. She married into that name. I know.
very proud of it though. You got to respect that.
Yeah.
Proud housewife.
Yeah.
You know, she's just like, my man's. He's a Schubert.
Yeah.
I'm a Schubert.
I mean, maybe I won't be one for long. So.
Wow.
Oh, is there some news you want to tell us about? Or?
I don't have news.
Are we still in the age where you take the last name? Is that a thing?
I am.
Yeah. I struggle with this because if roles were reversed, I don't think I would want to change my last name. But I'm also like identified by my last name a lot.
Yeah, it's different.
I guess that doesn't really happen to women too much.
No.
Michelle and I talked about this, like if we ever did get married, and she said she would probably just keep her name, but it's like mainly out of convenience because like all her like certifications and everything for being an MP is all in Big. Is Michelle Big?
Also, just a strong argument for you guys not to get married.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
So here we are. We're just.
I gotta tell you, Burke. I keep looking over at that sweater.
Gorgeous, right?
It's a nice,
very Christmassy.
Yeah.
It's
a nice sweater, but
surfers.
like I know it's surfers, but just the way they're on there and the colors, it looks like you're wearing like a Cardinals shirt.
The color scheme
is St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah,
and it's really bugging me.
Rightfully so.
It's hurting my soul.
Understandably
I'm like,
so.
are you a Cardinals fan now?
I'll tell you this: they have some incredibly nice swag. The Instagram, it gets me from time to time, and every time that they're trying to sell me like MLB vintage hoodies, it's never pirate stuff. Their shit hasn't changed in 200 years.
See, I get a lot of pirate stuff because I follow like the pirates. I follow different pirates accounts, so I think the algorithm just.
I'll get a lot of MLB stuff.
Yeah,
and it always.
No, I get that too.
It always ends up being like vintage Cardinals, vintage Cubs, which is hilarious because it's like two of the top teams that I absolutely loathe. But they look fucking good. Every time I pause on it, I was like, man, that baby blue with the red, scrumptious. You know.
Do you like all the City Connect?
I'm sorry, what?
The City Connect jerseys.
Oh, is that the gold PGH ones that we've been looking at?
That's ours.
The color splashes, if you will.
Yeah, but not every team has them yet, but they're like unveiling them as they go on. And some of them are really cool. They're like completely different colors of the actual colors of the team.
I don't like that at all. I'm glad we stuck to... This is one thing I'll say about Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
You can love us or hate us all you want. But at the end of the day, we are the only fucking city that just stuck to our colors start to finish. Like we have two colors and two colors only. And if you slice any of us open, you're going to get a black and gold C. That's just the way it works. And I think that's totally reasonable.
Your Phillies are doing pretty good there.
Yeah,
honestly.
I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're
good.
Yeah, they're
but
the best team in the
like
league.
What Philly teams do? They kind of
they're really good and then just never
They went to the World Series last year, no?
No, not last year.
I thought they lost to the Rangers.
No,
they lost to the Diamondbacks.
Arizona.
Oh, that's right. Arizona's very forgettable.
Yeah, Arizona beat them.
Yeah, they were the Cinderella team last year.
They were supposed to go because they were really good.
Bryce Harper, you gotta love him. He's a yummy man.
He's a yummy man.
Well,
Okay,
I
Burke,
don't
tell us
know.
how you really
I
feel.
haven't been looking at yummy men. lately.
Oh, right. You're off the market.
That's
we
right.
We
That's
fucking
right.
get it.
That's
Melissa.
right. We forgot you're
Jesus.
engaged. So
Jesus. Somebody tell Sam.
yeah.
That I haven't been looking at yummy men.
No. That you're wifed up and he's unaware.
Oh, he's aware. He's very aware.
Yeah.
Just to give you guys a quick Gatsby update, because I know I left abruptly yesterday. It's there isn't a lot they can do for old dogs and their bones.
No.
Apparently,
Yeah, they just rub off their cartilage and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Well, so,
Humans as well.
Yeah, there's a lot more preventative stuff for humans. We don't, it takes longer time to deteriorate, where dogs is all very condensed. But yeah, there's some protocols that they're going to run them through. Acupuncture. There's this like new, I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically an injectable that is supposed to rebuild cartilage. And the vet thinks that he still has enough cartilage on his joints that it might
Maybe
loosen
you
him
could
up
get
a
him
little
like
bit.
a Matisau scooter.
So funny, Corey and I were talking about that. I was like, do I just commit and like get him the doggy wheelchair?
Yeah.
Because like he'll be scooting around for sure.
Yeah.
He'd love it. But then you just like commit to his rear end
Very
just like
deteriorating.
completely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and how
Like,
would
he
he
won't
lay
be able to
down?
Well, he won't be able, the more important thing, he won't be able to shit anymore.
Oh.
Like you'll have to hold him.
Oh.
Because he, as is, like his left knee doesn't bend; it's just stiff.
Yeah.
So when he like tries to squat to shit, he actually just has to walk. Like he has to walk it out because his left side won't collapse. It's a sad.
How have
sight.
we not figured out how to like make dogs live to like
You
35?
can clone them. 50K.
Done. Booked.
It's not the
50K.
same.
Do they
What
come
about
back
stem
puppies
cells?
Not
or?
the same.
Puppies.
Are stem cells a thing for dogs?
It's the same.
I should look
genes.
into that actually.
Yeah.
Same DNA, but why am I so blurry?
Yeah. What happened?
Autofocus.
The same DNA,
There you
but
go.
puppy.
Oh,
Barbara Streisand does it.
interesting. I would take another lineage of Gatsby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
50K?
Yeah.
We get that down to 25.
25 for cats.
That's fucked.
I know.
They already live a long time.
I know.
Man, that is fucked.
Yeah.
What a rip. 25. Literally, I wouldn't even blink at 25K.
You could maybe it's gone down. I looked like a few years ago.
Maybe
50's above my price point.
It's all about supply and demand, the market.
true.
Burke. It's like they know the dog owners are willing to pay 50K.
The cat owners.
The cat owners are only willing to pay 25K.
I was kind of an asshole anyway.
You are kind of right. I think you might be onto something there, Brian. All right, we have a fun show today. We had a bunch of legends win tournaments. Wow. Like, man, it is fucking tournament season.
Telling you, it's here, baby.
Lamana's already caught the bug. Are you catching it yet? Sam has to be influencing you at this point.
Well, I mean, we study and watch the Triton stuff all the time.
Isn't this the way you go? Like, if you're dating a tournament player, you play tournaments. If you're single, you play cash.
Is it?
I mean, that seems to be the trend line.
I haven't done either.
Well, yeah, or you get into crypto.
Yeah. No, I mean, I feel like I've learned a lot, but I don't feel excited. Like we went to Paris the other day to get there was like 5x points.
Yeah.
So we're trying to get diamond, and I was like, ugh, this place, like, hate this place. Get stuck in the parking garage. I'm like just such a misreg when I do tournaments.
I love
like
Paris.
I hate it.
You have to ease yourself in, Melissa. You can't just go fire the fucking homecoming event. Because you're gonna want to kill yourself. You're gonna jump off the top roof of the parking garage.
Right.
You have to.
Well, you can't get out anyway. It would take me 3 hours to get out.
Guys,
so.
the first event.
Park at Bellagio.
The first event is a freeze out, so it
Well,
shouldn't
500
be,
freeze out.
It won't be a shit show.
Only 10,000 people. It's fine.
Oh,
It won't be
great,
that
yeah.
bad.
Yeah, but they'll be half of them will be
I
out
wish
by
I got
dinner.
excited like you guys. It sounds fun.
I think if you like come in at the $1,500 price point,
Yeah.
crypto's doing okay. You can afford it. You have an elite coach now. I think you could get pumped for a run.
Maybe, yeah. He seems pumped that I could make a run, but
Right.
I don't. I'm like, you will have a great summer. I will be miserable the whole time.
You're gonna be twice as miserable though if you don't join him in the misery.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, I'll just be alone and.
Yeah,
sad.
this is, and I mean, you're gonna have to like be the coping mechanism.
Oh yeah, that part too.
It's a lot. It's so much better to just commiserate together.
That's true. Actually, very good point.
Yeah. Dinner breaks together, bemoaning fucking Joe Schmo from Missouri who just laid one on you with the 4 deuce suited because that's his birthday. An April 2nd guy, a fucking
I thought maybe he was born in 42.
a Pisces moon.
Yeah.
Is he a Pisces moon? I don't know.
Joe
April
Schmo?
2nd. Yeah, Joe Schmo.
I don't know. It changes
Missouri.
depends what year and time.
Oh, that's fair. Well,
You're a Pisces moon, though.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay.
You and Landon.
Yeah, me and Landon. Oh, okay. Then Joe Schmo probably is too. Landon's right around early April.
Yeah.
Well, maybe.
See, I'm fucking on this.
You're on
you
it.
think I don't know my horoscope shit?
Well, you're a Pisces moon. You have the intuition.
Wait, how can they
Right,
both be
that's right.
Pisces if he's in January?
It's the time we were
it's
born,
the moon
Brian.
sign.
Oh.
You want to know the best part? She has no idea when I was born because I have no idea when I was born.
I thought you told me.
I probably gave you a time because...
I think you did because I have a time in my files.
In your files?
I have like a birth chart for like everybody.
What the fuck are you
Wait, you're
doing
saying
up
time
there?
of day?
Yeah.
So your sign is
hold
time
on.
of day as well as the day?
Yeah, your
Well,
moon,
your sign.
Your moon sign is
you have
your
a sun
time.
sign and a moon sign, Brian. Okay.
I think I have like
Come on.
2:15 for you or something.
2:15. I don't think that's accurate. I feel like I was
6:30.
Yeah, I feel like it was an evening
One
baby.
of the two.
Early morning, maybe, perhaps.
Yep.
Might have
Yeah.
been like borderline January 20th. All right.
He was supposed to be born at like 8 a.m., but he didn't show up till like
Yeah.
Right.
noon.
He was like, "Oh, sorry guys, I got caught up. I was watching Netflix."
He said, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
You know, it actually has turned into a sickness. This is no joke, but I've been like a few minutes late a handful of times over the last few months or whatever, in situations where I had a buffer that I purposefully exhausted doing nothing because
I do that too.
it felt like a waste to arrive at the place I was going early.
Right. Well, that's kind of like your whole mantra.
Yeah. So like 7-minute buffer, and it's like, oh, I could do something with 7 minutes. I should do, or I'm rushing around. You know, I should take. No. Watch reels
Yeah.
until I now have a 45-second buffer.
Right.
Leave, run into traffic,
Yeah. Of course.
And then blame the traffic.
and then blame the traffic.
Yep.
It was
Yeah.
obviously out of my hands.
Right.
You know,
Because
like,
there's never any
That's
traffic.
super relatable.
there didn't used to be.
There
This-
is now.
I
though.
know.
This goddamn
There is
city
now.
has
It
changed.
really has, though. It's crazy.
You know there are closures right now for F1. Yeah, exactly.
We might as well just turn into like
Like-
F1 Vegas.
like fuck you guys.
You mean for the next F1?
Yeah. Maintenance. Maintenance, Brian. You know what that means? They're going to start fucking doing maintenance outside of Paris
You know what?
real soon.
the Rio
Jesus
has been
Christ.
looking really good lately. Have you
Agreed.
guys seen it? Maybe it's time to go back.
Back
Agreed.
to Rio?
I think so.
I could get fired up for some Rio.
It looks great. There's new lights.
Yeah.
It looks shiny, clean. I think they
It
cleaned
would be
it.
cheaper for me to get a fucking RV and park it behind the Rio than to get a room this year.
Right.
We spent $6,500 on a room this year.
I
And
think
it's
I
only
went in there like 3 times.
it's only one bed this time.
Oh, you got one for this year.
Yeah.
Was it
Oh,
more than last year?
Almost double.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was so cheap last year. And that's with like the diamond discount, no resorts fees, all that fun stuff. I think we paid like $49 a night last year. We're paying like $112.
Wow.
Insane. Inflation.
Yeah.
God. Fucking I don't know, Florida, man. I blame
There's
Florida.
just there's so many
Goddamn
like
Florida, man.
logistical nightmares with the series that I think I
Nah,
just focus on
but
that
yeah, but
instead
you're-
of potentially winning
God,
money.
wait till you bag. It's gonna be so
I don't like
hard.
bagging because then I'm stuck in the
Don't like
garage,
bagging?
and then I mean I like it because I'm advancing the tournament, but the bagging doesn't make me excited.
This is why you make Sam get a room.
well, he lives on the strip.
Okay, well then you walk.
Ugh.
That's hot.
It's not
I'm
like you
such
won't
a
be
big
walking with
summer.
him.
Misreg though.
Or park at the Bellagio.
Yeah,
Very
I mean I
short
have free
walk.
valet now, I guess.
Yeah, very, very short walk. Wait, you're gold? Oh.
I'm
Wink, wink.
platinum.
Wait, what?
Caesars.
Oh no. You're not gonna valet there.
Why?
Because it's as big of a clusterfuck.
Oh,
You can valet at
okay.
Bellagio though.
You can valet it, I think, at
Paris.
or not Paris,
What's
Horseshoe.
everyone
You-
gonna do about this parking thing? Do you think they fixed the kiosks?
Oh my god, those fucking things. I would love to know what goddamn AI malfunctioned in those things where it's
Right.
like,
There's
hey,
no
this is the
AI.
highest traffic time of the day. Let's make it impossible.
It doesn't work. You have to call.
Right.
And then they don't pick up.
Right.
And the person behind you is beeping
Here-
nonstop.
Oh, I always use the ones before you get to the garage.
What do
First.
you mean?
No. Don't listen to him because I do this too.
Just
I use the VIP for the diamond card.
Yeah.
You have to swipe in to get in, right?
Yeah.
You think that they would automatically let you out after you swipe in to get in? Fuck no. Absolutely not. You swipe again to get out.
Well, then there's it's backed up.
You're saying with your diamond card.
Multiple levels.
So if you just take your ticket and put it in the
you don't get a ticket.
But I'm saying you can get a ticket.
Yeah.
Right? Just get a ticket when you come in, and then take the ticket and take it to when you're leaving in the kiosk, like by the elevators, right?
Yeah.
And then stick your diamond card in, and then it'll come back out and say no charge necessary, and then you just take your ticket and stick it in the thing, and then it just opens every time.
But it's still backed up.
Otherwise, you're
from
gonna
other
get
people.
stuck like you always do.
But we get stuck because it won't read the diamond card.
I understand that.
He
but
means
this-
like scan it when you're in the building,
Right.
But it doesn't matter because other people are
Right.
stuck, so you're
Right.
stuck behind them anyway.
Right.
No matter
But I'd
what.
rather be stuck behind somebody than
No, you
me
wouldn't.
being
I just
the one
remember
stuck.
bagging,
'Cause
being stuck till like 1:45 in the morning
yeah.
when I have a
Right.
10 a.m. restart, and I'm just wanted to die.
I've snapped. I've literally snapped. Like I've snapped at people that are stuck. I've snapped at the thing that's stuck. Like I'm banging the call button.
I was like, I'll just pay. Like this, I was gonna pay, and then that wouldn't work.
I
and
did that at Crystal's not too long ago. They've switched over at MGM, and for whatever reason, like it just wasn't accepting my gold card. I'm just like swiping and swiping and swiping, and it just wouldn't take. I go, take my $30.
Yeah.
I'm just stuffing
I
a
know.
debit card
just
in there.
Just open it. I don't care what you
Let
do.
me the fuck out of here.
I actually have done that, and that's why I will always just use the ticket and do it at the kiosk before. That way, I don't have to like run into that because I don't want to like have to pay.
They should just have a guy there.
Tortoise tips of the
Might as
summer.
well.
Well, what
That's
they
it.
eventually do is they just open it for everybody because obviously there's an outflow of hundreds
Sometimes
and
they
hundreds
do
of
that, which
people.
is so nice. And
It's
then
also
sometimes they
smart.
just
Like
don't.
who on earth is paying for fucking parking? Nobody. I mean, like 1 in 200 people. Maybe fewer. Maybe like 1 in 500 people are
Yeah,
paying
most
for
people
parking.
There was a
parking.
guy who was standing there with a diamond card and then being like, "Oh, you have to pay." He's like, $5 and I'll just swipe my card for you. Just standing there, just
Incredible.
racking up $5
Incredible.
bills.
I ran a racket with that like that in Ocean City, Maryland. I lived there for a summer, and myself.
The parking lot.
Yeah. There was 4 of us, and we all got bouncer jobs at Secrets, which was like the big nightclub there. And then half of us also got bouncer jobs as a second job across the street at the Ocean Club. And the Ocean Club was like for old people. It was like a 50s and over club. They only had like R&B bands. You know, it was just the easiest fucking work on earth. We basically just got our cheeks pinched all night by old ladies. But on Fridays, they had this like rivalry with Secrets. Secrets was massive. I mean, it sprawled for like a city block. And they had 4 different parking lots, but it would still fill. And when it would start to flow over, one of my roommates would be working parking there, and he'd send them across the street to Ocean Club. They would have me out there. My sole job, they had this like acre of parking lot that they didn't want anyone parking in unless they were coming to their club. Now, mind you, on a full night, they were getting like 100 people. This place could fit 1,000 cars. So I'm sitting there, the gatekeeper of all parking spaces, watching everybody pull up, and if they're under the age of like 30, I'm like, where you going? They're like, Secrets. I'm like, I'm sorry, I can't let you in there. Oh, the guy across the street said for $20. I'm like, oh yeah. Oh, for $20?
Sure.
We can make a little room. Raise the gate, let them in.
Like,
We're coming back with like hundreds, just splitting it up amongst
God.
us. Like,
Wow.
what a fucking racket, man. This is great.
Surprised you ever left there. You still be doing that now.
Yeah. Imagine.
Yeah, imagine.
Imagine where you.
I should have never left. That was the greatest summer job of all time.
You were at Secrets too?
Yeah, I bartended
You
there.
bartended there? Oh my god, you must have crushed
bouncers,
bartending.
they're such thought jobs for men.
They
Right?
really were.
Like
I
you just
stood in
get
front of
laid
a-
all the time.
I literally stood in front of a door at Secrets, and the door went to nowhere. I truly mean nowhere. It was like maybe like a hallway to like a closet of some sort, just an insignificant door, but they couldn't lock it, so they had to guard it from hammered people. So I just stood there. My sole task was to stand there like this for 6 hours and make sure no one went in the door. The power that women think you have when you're
Yeah.
standing in front of a
Right.
fucking door
I know.
is insane. It's like, what's behind the door? I can't tell you that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not even for me. Like, no, not even for you. Like, go away.
and I'm sure they love that.
They
too.
loved
Yeah.
it. It was just like getting swarmed all night long. I'm like, what a great job. But every
It's
night,
the ultimate male thought job.
It really was. I had to quit for all the reasons that people my age actually wanted to work there. Every single night we were expected to like fist fight someone.
Oh.
Like just in droves. I was like, yeah, I can't do this. Like I can't like 6-on-1 a guy because he got hammered and like did something stupid. This is just very silly to me. So I went over with the old ladies and they also just absolutely love me.
Same amount of action.
Same amount of action, just a little more down bad, but a lot more money. All right, while we're talking about people cooking, let's get to the Who's Cooking segment this week.
Ready or not, here I come. Jumped out with my soul leaking, going hard till I'm so eating. No chatting and no speaking, no dapping with slow breathing. Damn homie, you the man, homie. They can't do it, but you can, homie. They can't do it.
All right, we got a lot of people cooking with grease this week. A lot of big tournaments came to a conclusion, and a lot of notable names taking them down. First person cooking. All the people backing Maurice Hawkins. Congratulations to the shadow figures in the realm. This is his second ring in, I don't know, maybe as many months. I can't remember the last time.
Too, $250,000.
The last one was big too. I think the last one was like somewhere between 200 and 300.
I feel like he doesn't win the small ones. He just wins the big ones.
Just the 1,700 mains.
Yeah.
Just ships them. Nah, I think he has quite a few that are like the $400 ones. But
it's incredible how do you just win it's so hard to win a tournament.
I mean, he has 16 rings. I think Ari has the same amount or fewer. They're either tied for number one or.
It said he was second.
Oh, he's still second with 16? Yeah. Wow, Ari must just have like
he
infinite.
Won one recently.
Okay, maybe that's why. So Ari must have like 17 or 20 at this point. Who knows? He's the fucking Phil Hellmuth of circuits. Shout out to Ari. But yeah, it's like these guys just they've seen every single corner of the Midwest. They've won a tournament in every goddamn state. So Maurice ships this one for $260,000. There was also a $33,000 last longer that everyone in the event except for like 4 people got into.
Really?
Yeah. So it was I think it was 106 entries or 109 entries, and 106 of them were in the last longer.
It's like
for $300 each.
That's amazing. It's like it's a winner take all essentially.
Right. It's big free winner take all. So it was like 33K or something like that in the
and nobody they didn't chop it up.
They were talking about chopped 3 or 4 ways. I can't recall. I don't know what actually ended up happening. But he at least got some portion of that as well. So that's a nice little score for Maurice. Secondly, the Lodge final table came to a conclusion. Huge shout out to Mike Liang, LA regular, high stakes cash grinder who has recently switched to tournaments as basically you don't get that much access anymore whenever you're good at the pokers. So this is a pretty star-studded final table. Liang won it for $428,000, which was roughly the overlay, by the way.
Wow.
The first place was about the overlay. Second was Nick Papulio. I think I mispronounced that. Papulio? I think I'm close. For $277,000. Man, you guys just make it so hard on me. Like
This next one?
Eaton Sternlick.
Yeah.
$197,000. Justin Carey. Shout out to my man Bones. Fellow Yinzer getting 5th place for $109,000. God damn it, man.
But yeah, what's 6th place?
Where's Landon? Andrew Ospachenko. I think I got that one, man. He sounds like a hockey player. This guy's probably like missing a tooth or two. $82,000 for 6th. No, not because of any other reason than, playing hockey. Preston Duran, $62,000. And then Ebony Kenny in 8th place for $47K. Ryan Van Sanford, another reg, $36,000 for 9th. So shout out to everybody there at the final table. I think that's one of Mike's biggest scores, if not his biggest score. So that's pretty big for him. Also, not to be outdone by the Moneymaker boom himself, Lex goes out and just smashes the $5,200 Titan during Scoop yesterday. He tweeted actually, I'm getting ahead of myself. His earlier tweet, God damn it, I must not have it up. But basically, he did. This is it. Pretty unbelievable day. Final table of the 5,200 Tritons. I might be the worst player at the table, which is quite relaxing in a way. Wins it. Just wins it. Like, that's That is such a put your backpack on when you're a 4-to-1 dog, stand up kind of move.
Yep.
Like if ever there was a certainty that the guy who's streaming the final table that says he is the worst at the final table is going to win it, like top signal right there with that tweet. If I could have bought Lex Bucks, I would have been all fucking in. Yeah, like let's go. Give it all to me. So he shipped that for 140,000. Not his biggest score, but a pretty big fucking score on live stream. Like this is the content that I think everybody's looking for. His first scoop title, which is kind of crazy to think of. Whenever you think about like how long Lex has been grinding and streaming and been a part of the Stars teams, I mean, I can't imagine how many scoop events he's played up until this point. I know he's had a lot of big sweats along the way. So big shout out to Lex. Still waiting to get you on here, bud. Whenever you're ready, man. We can't seem to match up the times, but hopefully this summer he's out here and we're actually in the same time zone at some point where even if he calls in, we can get him on for a minute. Another friend of the show that apparently the population didn't realize he was our friend. Is, you know, we kind of memed him a little bit yesterday and they got a little ruffled by it, but Moneymaker goes out and does what Moneymaker does. Just plays USA. He just plays, you know, the top of the top pros in the world, just like he did in the World Series main event. Runs them the fuck over. Yeah. Tells them to go home on your bike. Right. And ships the whole thing for a little over $900,000. So this was the first event at Triton yesterday. 25K, no limit. Got a huge turnout. Like 160.
Triton ones are getting big.
They really are.
Well, I guess they weren't doing 25Ks before, right?
No, I think they were. I think they've dropped down now to include some 15Ks here and there.
Oh, okay.
Which wasn't true in the past, but yeah, Moneymaker's firing. So he actually sold a little bit on one of the selling platforms. I'm not sure which one for his first bullet. This happened to be his second bullet that he wanted on. And setting awful precedents, he just refunds everybody for their first bullet. Yep. Nice guy, Chris. Can't help but...
I think that Ethan did that too.
Yes, a lot of people do it. Lynn has done it in the past for like cash action that she sold.
I think it's awesome that they do it. I think it's a great gesture. And I think it's fine to do it. Just understand that this shouldn't be a precedent. It shouldn't be set a precedent. Right? Like, it shouldn't be like, oh, I should expect my money back if I bought one bullet and then he wins on the next bullet. But when they do get it back, it's just a nice thing for them to do.
My perspective is a little different. I just think you shouldn't sell then. Because, like, I guess, and I'm not accusing Chris of this, but I'm pretty sure this is true of, like, when Lynn and Rampage do it. They're selling to, like, include the community in the audience and like have them be there and be a part of the win and celebrate the win and stuff like that. And then whenever they let them down, they just say, just kidding. Like it's peanuts to me anyway. I'll give you guys a refund. And the problem with that is that the marketplace already in poker is so convoluted and there's so much chatter about like what's fair, what's free, what's reasonable, what's unreasonable, that kind of stuff, that even if you don't mean to set a precedent moving forward as far as like this is commonplace, it just does. Right? Like it just does, and it makes it really difficult for people who aren't in the position to refund because they're selling for, you know, the standard reasons that people are selling for. And also like again, like I don't know, I have no idea how these staking sites make money, but I can't imagine it's great for them either. Right? Like, I don't know where they get the cut from. They have to be taking a cut somewhere.
PokerStake doesn't take fees, so I'm not sure.
Right. Like, I don't know. Maybe
ads,
maybe it's just ads. Yeah. I mean, that would be like the greatest, like the greatest model available for everybody if that's the case. But yeah, big shout out to Moneymaker in any event.
We have a honorable mention as well.
Oh shit! No, he just like snap busted.
Yeah, but still, he final tabled, man.
He gotta stop posting when it's like 7 or 8 left.
Yeah.
You know, it's always when it's that.
Yeah, like three or fewer.
Yeah.
Right.
Because like top three is where
let us know when
you got a podium. Yeah, you got a podium finish. He got scammed, by the way. He got it in 5s versus 3s. Guy hit a 3 on the river.
So brutal when you get in with 5s and then you just get shown 3s. Like
right. Well, it's a PKO, so it's like, you know, range is widened a lot.
Right. But I mean, it's just.
A true honorable mention now. We saw, Chris ships this big event and, wins near $1 million. Really nice bookend to his WSOP main event 21 years ago. He went out and he got a little tipsy. He started celebrating a bit, and we found him. We found him out in the wild celebrating.
We can't show this.
We can't show the video. We can't show the video. Definitely can't show the video.
Man.
Who is this? Wrong answers only.
Watch out. His army's going to come for you.
No, I'm fucking trolling. God. What do you think the line is that this man is from Florida?
I mean,
it's likely.
It's got to be a huge favorite, right?
Right. It's like it would be even money if he's from Florida or the field.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like you can have all 49 other states or Florida.
Well, it's funny. We're assuming this is the United States, but I don't actually recognize the gas pumps at all. I think this actually could reasonably be foreign.
No way.
Of course not.
That's
This has to be
America.
gas pumps. It has to be
Those
America.
gas pumps don't look familiar at all.
But yeah, they don't look familiar at all, right?
No.
But again, how
maybe it's a diesel pump.
how could this ever not be America?
It could be France.
That guy doesn't look French at all.
Don't come after me, French people. I'm just kidding. I love France.
Oh man, I saw this. My entire timeline is just filled with
That's
that's the new Sven. Yeah, I had so many jokes for this, and all of them lean politically one way or the other, but in a very agnostic way, where I think just this can represent any and all sides. So I went with it being a vaccine joke. And obviously, there are just people that are
What could go wrong with that?
right. I said, we know that the vaccine had side effects, but there's no way even Foxing could have predicted this one. And then everyone's like, this guy looks like he didn't take a fucking vaccine. It's like, yeah, that's the joke.
God.
That's the joke.
We don't know. I mean, he could be French.
Everyone needs to just calm the fuck down. Jesus Christ. Why is
people on the
everybody's so uptight? We haven't even gotten to midway. I can see if this is midway through the World Series, right?
I'll tell you this right now.
Everybody's 0 for 15. They're like, God damn it.
Hey, I'll tell you this right now. I'm going to light the internet on fire. So you guys get ready to clip this one out, whatever, at your leisure. I'll give you 3 seconds to get prepared. All right. Pull that picture up again, Guapo.
Oh, I just got rid of it.
Why would you ever get rid of it?
Deleted
This
it
should be a
from
callback for eternity. This guy has dick in hand with a gas pump up his ass.
All right. 1 second. 1 second.
All right, you guys have even more time to clip this out. All right.
There it is.
All right. Come November, when it's time to place my vote, if you gave me the option of Trump, Biden, or this guy, without a shadow of a doubt, this man represents me.
Yeah?
This man speaks for me.
Does he?
Yes.
But so is he pumping it into his ass?
That's the thing that we all want to know,
that's
Melissa.
really dangerous.
We all want to know. Is it just the nozzle?
Because you could use other things if it's just sort of it has to be pumping gas.
Did he get prematurely caught?
He paid and he selected the gas and then he started pumping.
Unleaded premium or
diesel?
It's got to be premium. You can't go basic gas.
No, right.
My Twitter
87 unleaded? Come on.
Yeah, no way.
My Twitter timeline is just full of this guy. And did you see the woman that flashed the digital hub in New York?
I did see that. Yeah.
First of all, bravo, lady. Whatever your OnlyFans is, drop the fucking link.
Jesus,
let's
Grandpa.
go. I mean,
Grandpa, chill.
she wasn't shy about it. She wasn't just passing by and gave him a quick one over. No, she gave him a whole show.
For a minute,
yeah, the whole show. They had to shut it down. They're like, Dublin's not ready for this.
It's legal in New York. You can walk around topless.
Is it?
Huh?
I didn't know that. I just find it.
You act like you've done it.
No, I remember when it was legalized and I was in college and a lot of girls were.
And why you pushed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. I just want to know, whenever they came up with this idea of creating a digital portal that people in Dublin could see from New York, if their intention was to shut it down from an attractive woman showing off her titties, what do they do at I don't know, 1 a.m.?
Well, there
when
was
the streets
one,
of New York
they were
just
showing 9/11. Dublin was showing 9/11, a picture of it.
What?
And then everyone was screaming.
What the fuck?
They were kind of laughing though. It was
But I mean, like, 1 a.m. New York City streets, you're going to see a lot worse things than a woman's boobs.
Yeah,
like a guy defecating.
Yeah,
or this guy shoving a pump up his ass. That's the.
He should go to the hospital if he was pumping gas.
I'll tell you what, that's the meme, is to get the people in Dublin, like, get their view, and then take the woman out and put the guy with the pump in his ass.
Yeah,
that's the meme for all you guys out there who want to do a little bit
of an
internet
interesting
sleuthing.
Thing.
What is
the portal?
Oh, there it is.
I think the portal's fascinating.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not really sure.
It's just a Zoom call, though, kind of. Right?
Yeah,
like,
but it's kind of cool that, like, you can, like, see other cultures without being there.
Yeah.
Type of thing. But I mean, like, come on. Of course it was going to get fucking memed.
It's just going to get memed.
Like, this is what we do now. The internet is available to us.
Exactly. There's social media. Like, people are trying to, like, do whatever they can to get likes and followers. And
it worked.
Yeah.
Both of these things.
Yeah, it should work.
Incredibly viral. We got to get Moneymaker viral, though. He tweeted out yesterday after his win. Last week, I final taped with the Venom and studied ICM. This week, I win Triton by saying, fuck ICM.
Yeah.
ICM's for pussies.
That's right.
Nice.
Yeah, tell him, Tortoise. Tell him, buddy.
That's right.
And then he said something else. I didn't see the tweet, or I did see the tweet, but I couldn't find it. He said something else to the effect of, the other thing that's not coincidental is that every event he's done well in, Jeff Platt's nowhere to be found. And then later on this morning, he releases a tweet that says, get your Vegas summer off to the right start. Ensure you have a profitable summer and get yours today at Moneymaker Tour at Jeff Platt. And it is a t-shirt that says hashtag turn on the lights and has Platt as Freddy Krueger on the back saying 1, 2, Jeff's coming for you. This is genius. Funny. I'm going to order a dozen of these and just pass them out all throughout the World Series the 2 days that I happen to show up there. Mm-hmm. I think 2's about right. It feels like the right over-under. What do you think, Lamana?
2, huh? You got a room for the summer for 2 nights.
Well, it's for Landon.
Yeah.
Once Landon wins something, he's going to pay me all.
That's true.
Pay me for the room.
Yeah.
All right. Finally, while we're having a little bit of fun with the Moneymaker stuff, we put out a tweet yesterday for Twitter Tuesdays. It said, who is this? Wrong answers only. I went with Guy Fieri. I think that...
it was not well received.
Not well received. No. No.
So
Compare tournament scores, fucker.
You might as well have said, like, Hitler, the way people reacted.
Yeah. There were a couple. There were a couple that leaned into the joke. One guy said "Money Taker 69," which is a nice callback to the GG hack.
Yep.
Another guy said "Moneymaker greater than the entire Solve for Why squad."
All right.
He did not take well to the liking.
Yeah, he didn't like that.
No. There was a few that I liked. Colonel Sanders' son. I thought that was good.
Rulon Gardner's pretty good. I mean, you got to be old to know that one, but that's good.
Wait, I don't think I know.
I'm not that old.
But in line with that, somebody else said the ghost of who's the diabetes guy?
Oh,
no, I know who you're talking about.
Oh my God!
I can't think of his name.
Yeah.
God damn.
William Brumford.
Yes.
William Brumford or something like that.
Brumford, yeah. Someone else said Andrew Huberman. I thought that was good. The absolute winner of them all was Patrick Muth. He said Ron Jeremy, which is just an incredible answer. I think that those were the majority of the best of them. That I tried to like all the ones that were really good. A lot of people said Sammy Farha.
Yeah,
unoriginal.
Yeah, there was multiple of them.
Yeah. Somebody said Doyle Brunson, Chris Farley, Jamie. You guys, come on. Come on, let's go. All right, let's get into In the Muck, and then if there's a little time left over, we're going to talk a bit about shot taking this summer.
All right, we got our old friend Zeus.
Wilford Brinley.
Wilford Brinley. I knew it was something like that. What did I say? William Brimford or something?
Yeah, you were
What
close.
the hell I said?
Honestly.
Whatever I said, it was not correct.
I think that'll
But
pass.
it was, good enough. Anyways, Zeus is in the muck. He's not really in the muck, but, got aces. Can't go wrong. But let's see.
Wonder if he won this hand or not.
Yeah. Well, let's see. So he's in the big blind with 2 black aces, and early position makes it 20. We're playing 3-5, and the cutoff, the size of 3-bet, 270, and folds to Zeus in the big blind, who cold 4 bets to 210. Early position folds. The 3-better comes along, and we come to a flop of 9 of diamonds, 5 of spades, 4 of clubs. Zeus elects to lead for about quarter pot, 115 into 443. He's met with a raise to 300. He elects to call, and the turn is the 6 of spades. Zeus checks, and his opponent bets 40%, which is 400, which is about half of Zeus' stack. And Zeus decides to go all in for 790, and he's met with a call. And he loses the hand to...
Don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
All right. Yeah. We won't spoil it just yet.
Keep that one secret.
Right. Yeah. So he did not win the hand. I mean, there's a lot of different hands a guy could have, right? I mean, geez, so many hands.
Top set. Definitely top set.
Yeah. Definitely top set of 9. So he posted this to Guapo and I, and he was kind of mainly wondering like. What kind of is his line okay here? Is his sizing okay here in the different spots? So mainly I thought he should 3-bet the flop when he gets raised, because I did not want to just call, have it go check turn, and now I can't get stacks in against 10s through kings.
I would go bigger on flop.
You would go bigger on flop? Yeah. I think
so he went quarter.
He went quarter. I like bigger.
SPR was like 2.5. Right. What size would you prefer?
60.
Okay.
I think quarter's fine.
Quarter. I mean, any bet is fine.
Yeah,
literally, you have aces with 2.5 SPR.
I think like 3E.
Everything's fine.
Yeah, like 3E is like. I thought about that too. I was like, okay, well, you want to be able to get the stacks in. So like, what's the best way to get
2E?
I think
73%.
Is 2E 2E might be too big.
I think it's too big because you want him to have floats.
Right.
Yeah. You want him to have like clubs, diamonds. I mean, he's gonna have like, the thing is like, you have to think about the way that his range is comprised, and it's quite linear. Yeah. So against pairs, I think one of the mistakes, and you reiterated a few times, is worrying about what happens versus 10s plus, and I just don't see a world where 10s raises flop and finds a way not to put all of the money in the middle.
That's what I think too, yeah.
So like, well, with regard to that, like clicking just is kind of a non-event.
That I don't know. I think sometimes if they raise flop and you just call, now they're gonna play. They might play pot control and check back.
Right, but when you jam for like 40% pot on the end, are they gonna fold?
You wouldn't be jamming for 40% pot. Just call the flop, right?
Are you sure?
Yeah, you would have 790
going into the turn. Okay, so yeah, like 80% pot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you'd be jamming for like 80% pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they just fold. I guess it's feasible, but like under.
Sometimes if you just rip.
But like
if you rip 3-bet, they might like find a fold too.
Right, but by that logic, then
that was kind of.
Any aggressive action you take should lead to a fold.
Yeah, that was one of Zeus's concerns, was that like, why he didn't 3-bet the flop, because he didn't want them to like fold 10s, jacks, hands like that. And that's why I said I prefer like a click. But
do they even raise those?
Do
they even raise those?
Raise what?
Like 10s and jacks.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I mean. Yeah, maybe.
But also, like, what are you bluffing with when you click? You're setting up like a third pot turn spot.
Yeah.
It's like there's just no balance. I mean, like, sure, you're just trying to continually funnel money in as much as you can, but like you have to just kind of like trust the process a little bit. I think the big issue here is, going quarter after cold 4-betting is like pretty reasonable, but I feel like we kind of lose sight of what the ranges are. And the thing is that the cutoff in theory is supposed to be pretty tight here versus a cold 4-bet. So like a lot of the linear hands are just supposed to fold that aren't pairs. The, you know,
Ace jacks,
ace middle suiteds, yeah, like any offsuit ace, like ace queen, ace jack, those are just like pure folds. Ace king is going to mix between like sort of trap and just jam.
I mean, the ranges are super condensed at this point.
They should be, right? So it's like in position should mostly just have like pairs, and then like some suited hands. You know, you could justifiably like call suited broadways at a low frequency.
Like 7-8.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah,
like
you should.
I think in
have.
practice, I don't think that's happening a lot in the wild.
if you 3-bet it, I would
right?
suppose that it's in there. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, I'm looking at the chart now. It's like a quarter of the time.
Yeah.
So like even though he's supposed to be folding a ton of linear hands, he's also going to have linear hands that you just won't possess in your cold 4-bet range. So when you arrive at a 9-high board, you have such a massive overpair advantage to him, and he has so many weak showdown value hands and nothing that I think you just want to create a 3-street game. So I'm mainly just addressing like the notion of let's go for 2E here kind of thing. I think if you play a 2E strat, you start to make hands like 10s and jacks indifferent immediately, and that feels a little bit problematic because now you're giving really easy decisions to hands like Jack 10 suited. Yeah. I'm not positive. We can double check it, but my best guess would be that those hands like very quickly become indifferent because you only have like jacks and 10s maybe 10 or 15% of the time, and then everything else is like queens, kings, ace, king, and then like a sliver of suited stuff. Yeah. So you're just so concentrated to having better overpairs than that, and then like, you know, they're not that far ahead of like your bluffs, which would be like ace, king. I don't know for sure that they're indifferent. I'm just speculating. But even if they even start, like if they start to fold at all, right? Like let's say that they're mostly a continue, but they fold 10 or 15% of the time versus any other sides, they're definitely not folding. So like we're just much more incentivized to play a 3-street game. So I do think 3 is probably appropriate here. But quarter will suffice. 3 I think is like 40%-ish. Where it's like quarter will suffice. It's fine. In position probably plays no raise. Like I think a big mistake that people make is raising these boards because they recognize that out of position cold 4-better doesn't have anything that touches on this texture.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that just doesn't matter.
That doesn't matter, right? Because they have this hand.
and all other, like every single pair they have.
Right,
Do it
yeah.
with sets.
Well, that's the other thing.
It's like
That's like kind of the other thing. When I first saw this hand, I was like, oh, okay, like he's just against a set of 9s here. This is fucking
Right,
brutal, but
yeah.
like, what are we going to do? The SPR is so low. It's a 4-bet pot. We have aces. Like, we just get stacked and we live with that because you don't get to play that many 4-bet pots. And if somebody 2-outs you in a 4-bet pot,
Right.
like, que sera,
They should
sera.
never have 5s or 4s, or they shouldn't be 3-betting those hands. So.
Probably not. So it's literally just like 9s
Just
or
9s,
nothing.
yeah.
And the times that they ever show up with kings or queens, which kings definitely isn't always just going to be all in pre.
Right.
So like that hand could reasonably click. I don't really think like raises are effective here because out of position just has such a big range advantage that it should probably just be tripling off range.
Yeah.
So I don't imagine that like clicking is a thing, but in practice, I'm sure you'll see it a lot. But yeah, this is just a just pay spot in my opinion. As played, I don't think Andy can do anything different. Like
Right.
seems reasonable.
Yeah.
Maybe he's beaten some of the time on the turn by like a weird 6-5, 7-8.
That's
pocket
basically the
nines,
line
like-
you take. You might bet a little bit more on the flop, but other than that, you would
Yeah.
bet, call.
Yeah, I
check,
would just
get it in.
B40 and then
Yeah.
whatever he does on the turn, as long as it's not checked back, like I'm just gonna be all in
Yeah.
and live with it. And like the 6 of spades is like not even that bad of a card.
No.
We have the ace of spades, so it's like, what are we really afraid of? All right, let's take a look at what this looks like in theory. So this is I gave everybody the widest ranges imaginable in the sense that we're looking at 200 big blind ranges with no rake and an ante. So they're going to fight a little bit harder for the pot, which is going to make in position a little bit wider. So you can see that in position is a lot more linear, albeit like, these hands don't really show up all that often. even with these super wide ranges, like you can see that whoops, I'm on the wrong tab. There we go. The advantage here for Andy out of position is pretty dramatic. So he has pretty significant EV edge, 54.7% to 45.3. Pretty big equity edge. He even has the equity realization edge, which you almost never see this by the out of position range. But this is a byproduct of the SPR being so small. So he has so many good hands that will just always get the showdown. Like there's no scenario where jacks, queens, kings, or aces would ever fold.
Right.
That his EQR is just like through the roof. Even hands like ace king are just often going to get there. Now you can see that the set advantage obviously does go to in position, as does the two pair advantage. He has a little bit of Mr. Fantastic.
Yep.
I think that's Mr. Fantastic. We'll need Landon to give us a overview of the Fantastic Four. But again, it just like doesn't matter. It's only 2.5–3% of his overall range. And the other half, so this is kind of what I was speaking to, 51.5% of his range is over pairs. We just have to ensure that they never fold. And because half of his range is over pairs, I'm fairly certain that at some point, like these hands will become indifferent. So the correct sizing here is 3E. It's 40%. When we look at the response, you can see tens immediately becomes indifferent.
Wow.
Versus 3E. So if we instead change this to 2E, I'm curious to see if like jacks then becomes indifferent.
Probably.
It seems like it probably should, but
And tens does what, fold?
I imagine tens will start to like pure fold. But they're actually kind of the same hand. So it may not change much. So yeah, tens pure folds, jacks becomes indifferent, and then queens and kings are just like forced to be all in because it's just a click. And yeah, so like look at the difference in the way he continues. These overpairs now become purely indifferent. And then like a lot of other hands that you were capturing EV from, like the backdoor type of hands, start to fold. But notice like the pairs don't. Like ace 5 still continues, ace 4 still continues, 10-9 still continues, 9-8 all in some capacity.
You could just improve much easier, right?
Yeah. So and
backdoor straight draw.
Right. And like when you choose 2E instead of 3E, it forces you to check a lot more. So now you pure give up ace 10. You mostly give up ace jack suited. You start to give up ace king a little bit more, where now all these hands are just like pure bets for the 2E or the 3E size rather. Again, obviously no raises. That's no surprise, like 0.3%. And you can see that he's actually continuing with 85.5% of his range. So there isn't a whole lot that actually gets the capacity to fold here. All of the pairs continue, and then like hands with backdoors are in there too. So like his ace jack suited, ace queen suited, ace king suited, and ace king offs, all pure continues versus B40. Which is pretty wild when you think about it, because our bluffs are kind of coming from the same region that's calling, right? Even queen 10 suited with a backdoor flush draw, pure call. And this is just kind of a function of, I guess, just trying to get out on a hand like ace king because we have so much of it. But this feels impractical to me. You don't improve well enough with a hand like queen 10 suited, and you already have bad hands to call with, like 7-8 and 7-6. So assuming that you have these suited connectors that can literally never fold, I think it's like prudent to just fold these hands that just have bare backdoors. I would also be folding hands like 8s and 7s, even though they're pure continues because they're pairs. These are kind of a byproduct of just the price that you're being laid, the fact that you're in position, and we'll have to check a lot on the turn. I just want to see what happens if he plays correctly and it goes call. How often we're actually continuing on the 6 of spades versus like checking and doing something different. I imagine it's going to be a higher check frequency. So yeah, like half the time.
This is if he just calls the Indies quarter.
Yeah. And you can see all hands are mixed here. So
this is a response to which bet, per 40%?
40% in call.
Oh, okay.
So you see we give up like on a lot of our bluffs. Our ace king shuts down. Our ace king suited is like dependent. We actually do a lot of checking with ace king of spades. And we use ace queen of spades instead as our bluff because it actually gets better to fold sometimes. Like he'll have to fold ace king now because he doesn't have ace of spades king. Same thing with ace jack. Like we lean on those, ace 10 of spades. We lean on those three to push equity. And then ace king of spades we just treat as a bluff catcher because we have so much equity with it. Aces is a little bit more vulnerable than kings, so it kind of goes for it. Or actually, sorry, that's not true. I guess this is more so a byproduct of having the ace of spades. You can see that like ace of spades X is doing the majority of the betting because you can't expect him to now bet with a nut flush draw. Everything else checking in pretty reasonable frequency. If we were to follow through with a check, then yeah, he's just going to treat all of his overpairs mostly as value. The weaker they are, the more they check. The exception being tens. And I imagine that's just because we don't have that much of it. Obviously nines are the set, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so like as played, should we face raise here? You can see that, you know, basically if you have a hand that needs protection like kings, you just smash because his bluff should be coming from like a lot of ace king type of holdings. Queens has to mix because he saw his kings as a trap, so you have to kind of respect that. And aces mixes because it can't lose. Like it's just losing to nines, and he has like, you know, almost no pocket nines in range. Jacks is a pure bluff catcher. It only beats ace king, so it's going to call to fold a future street. And then I guess tens is almost like merging between all three options. So we call turn six of spades. Obviously, you know, there's nothing we can do. We're just going to check and then get it in. So pure check. His sizing should be smaller than what he actually chose. It's only supposed to be quarter pot. I think he went like half, if I'm not mistaken, but doesn't really matter. Andy's still ripping here. Purely with aces, you see it doesn't really choose anything else unless you have that one exact combo. Almost never have kings or queens here, but when you do, you just continue to call because, again, you only beat bluffs. And then, yeah, we just like lose the pot. So why don't you reveal what he had, and then we can discuss how to play this in practical Explo land.
So his opponent decided to a little crazy with the queen seven of spades.
Right. So
for
well
the
constructed.
nothing flop. I mean, at backdoors. Turn gin.
Yeah.
Which is the six of spades. And then the river was, you know, the old deuce of spades.
Turn would have been a good time to start checking, I think, if you're him.
Yeah, right. Just
because, like,
just
obviously you just play like no raise
or
on flop.
shove.
Well, I mean, he committed himself.
I guess
it's
he
fine.
did. Yeah.
But like you play no raise on flop, but if you raise, it's strictly to get ace king to fold, right? So like whenever he calls, it's kind of just like, well, fuck me, I have queen high. The only hands I could really apply pressure to here would be like queens and jacks.
Yeah.
I don't think jacks.
Where was he playing?
Yeah, where was
3-5? So could have been South Point.
It might have been.
Could have been at South Point, or it could have been the Jewel. I mean, you know, they get a little crazy at the Jewel.
Get a little lit down there.
Andy said, he started telling me, he started telling me there's a story behind that hand.
Of course there is, sir.
To which I politely told him, I don't give a shit about your story, man.
Oh, man, that's incredible. Okay, so coincidentally, so I ran this again with wider ranges, and I gave him just kind of a little bit of everything. So you can see I gave him like all the suited sevens, every suited ace.
But all those hands don't have a story, Burke.
Correct.
That's true.
Fair. But in any event, like I just gave him
range and then queen seven.
I gave him a significantly wider range, and you can see what it does to the equity chart, right? So now he actually has nut advantage because he has all the sets.
Yeah, right.
He has all the sets and all the two pair. But he's getting pummeled everywhere else across the board. So coincidentally, if or not coincident, but what do you think that does to Andy's strategy? How do you think that changes things?
I think he would go smaller on the flop now.
Okay.
Because his range is wider.
What do you think, Melissa?
I can see that, yeah.
Okay. I'm glad that's the answer you guys gave. And now I'm going to tell you why it's wrong.
Yeah, I know you're going to say that, right?
So what ends up happening is he touches this board a lot harder now because he has so many fucking hands, right? But none of them are strong.
Right.
So he has more sets, more two pair, but like whatever, we go broke to that anyway. It's 2.5 SPR. So
so maybe you want to give him a bigger, because it makes it a tougher decision with some.
Remember what happened when we bet 3 on the flop? Everything that was a pair continued.
Right.
Imagine if he just like quadrupled his pair coverage.
Right. Now you just go bigger because he's just going to continue a lot more with inferior hands.
Versus now what ends up happening is we 2E and I don't think tens or jacks will be indifferent at all. I think they'll be pure continues.
Yeah.
Exactly, because now a lot of other hands. But actually, Jacks and 10s may still be indifferent because they don't improve as well as a hand like
Ace 5. And
any pair.
any pair.
Yeah.
Any
Right?
pair, right, yeah.
So it kind of turns into like a PLO type scenario. So you can see that when we look at the sim this way, where it's locked for him just having infinite range, it is 2E now.
You played it great, Zeus.
Yep.
He did. He didn't do anything wrong. I mean, he sides up a little bit, but like whatever. So now it is 2E, and what you can see happens is he actually does play a lot of jams. So we were right that Jacks no longer folds. It's now just yeeting it.
Oh.
Right? Now 10s is still a pure fold versus this size, but it's because it was always only a pure bluff catcher.
Right.
We never have a worse pair.
Yeah.
Right? So it can't hold on for 2 streets versus like ace king. Especially when that's really our only bluff. And you can see now that like a lot of the 9x is just going with it. Again, this is kind of like a PLO concept, right? Where you play a 4 or 5 bet pot, SPR is like 3 or 2, and you flop a pair and 3 live cards. You're just all in. You're just always all in because your equity can't be all that bad. It's kind of the same thing here where it's like when we have a 9, it has to realize all this equity and it doesn't really want to call off on a turn queen, for instance. Right. So like 9-7, very incentivized to just smash it all in now. 9-8, etc. Strangely enough, though, the queen 7 doesn't find its way in there.
Not even backdoors.
Not even a smidge. But that's versus the big size. So let's give the guy a little bit of credit. Maybe versus quarter, he fucks around and finds out.
Yeah, that should do it.
Let's force it.
Let's see if there's a world, and this should demonstrate why small is a little bit more harmful, I guess. So you can see if you give it 2 sizes, it will mix, and it actually does prefer small versus all in. But if we give it quarter and 2E, I imagine it will mix more heavily. It might just pure deferred to 2E. God damn it. Okay, so yeah, like quarter is like not really chosen. Actually, I should have known that. Whenever I gave it quarter and all in, and it's still picking all in, it means quarter's a really bad size. Right? So if he is up against a range this wide, quarter becomes actually pretty bad. And I think that a lot of this is demonstrated in I was gonna say maybe in the EQR, but I guess that's not even really truly the case because there isn't a whole lot that he can do. He's still not really supposed to play any raise. And the queen 7 suited, crazy enough, still not in there fucking around.
Man.
Andy just has too many good hands.
Yeah.
But a lot of the hands that were previously indifferent or pure folding are now like pure continuing. And that's kind of like, I guess, where it becomes a problem. Having a 9 call for Andy kind of sucks because there are so many turn cards where a 9 won't go broke. And that was kind of like, I think the point you were making, where like, oh, if they're raising the flop with like 10s or jacks or whatever, I don't want a king to come off on the turn and then just have them shut down. That concept's much more applicable to a 9, right? Because then what ends up happening, like, let's say the 6 rolls off and Andy's obviously going to have a mix between check and bet if he goes quarter on the flop. Now, let's say, aces feels pretty protected. I'm going to check that one because I have the ace of spades and I blocked the nut flush draw, yada, yada, yada. Well, like 9-10 didn't improve on that 6. And it doesn't really need to protect itself anymore because ace king's like your only hand that isn't made.
Yeah.
So it just knuckles back. And now the river's like a king and it's just like, well, you win. I have better hands to bluff catch with, right? So like he's just going to play such a heavy check back after that you're very disincentivized from keeping the pot manageable over 3 streets when you're against a super wide range. When you're against an equally tight range, the only way to really get the money in is to play a 3-street game because otherwise you start to make jacks and 10s indifferent too quickly and you're forcing him to have trapped queens, kings, or just fuck you up with pocket 9s or 5-4, right? So I think that that's probably like the best principled lesson to take away from this because obviously the only thing that matters theoretically here is the SPR is low and we have good hands.
Yeah.
Like when they have more hands, you can bet bigger.
Yes. Yeah, precisely. Specifically when there's a massive imbalance.
Right.
Right. When there's
like
a huge asymmetry. Yes. Yeah.
Right. Which it shouldn't have this huge range in 4-bet pot, but sometimes they do.
But live, practically speaking,
Sometimes
it happens all the time, right? And I think that's the best thing to touch on because you don't want to get it confused with it. It's the exception, not the rule.
Right.
Generally, when ranges are wide, we tend to bet small. Right.
That's why I gravitated towards that.
Right. Yeah. But when there's a huge asymmetry where one range is just like ultra tight and the other one's very wide, we see this all the time, and even in single raise pots, right? Under the gun opens, big blind defense, ace, king, 5, rainbow, 3E.
Yeah.
Right? Why? One range is very tight. The other one's incredibly wide and just can't hold up over 3 streets. Right. So you kind of just almost get the range bet for 3E. I'm exaggerating, but it's not that far away from the truth. So yeah, Zuzi played it great. Unlucky. Thanks for forcing us to examine a bad beat on air. Everyone at home appreciates this one.
He just asked me about it, and I said, I'm going to do this for In the Muck. He didn't ask for it to be In the Muck.
I'm fucking with him. I actually think like this is a really relatable hand because these stories get told based off of some Yahoo from fucking Montana. I see you out there, guy from Montana. Does some fuck shit in a 4-bet pot with queen high when you obviously have aces and cracks you.
Yeah. Now he has 2 stories behind it.
That's right.
Another story.
That guy's gonna fuck someone else up with queen 7. He's just gonna keep putting notches in his belt.
Yep.
I have a story about this when I was at the South Point once.
I got 15 stories.
Hey, that was on the Only Friends podcast, episode 515. You can go back and listen to it.
That's right.
It was a real doozy. If you guys find yourself in the muck and you'd like to share a hand with us, would greatly appreciate it. Head over to our Discord. You can hit hashtag Discord in the chat, or go to our Twitter page at onlyfriends_pod. It's the pinned tweet there. Join the Discord group. We got a lot of lively people there willing to share strategy. You can enjoy all that, but also there's a dedicated forum to In the Muck hands. If you put a bad beat in there, you're going to have to sneak it past the tortoise. I'm just saying. It's not a hard sneak.
No.
He's a little slow.
No, I just,
But you still got to sneak one past him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you guys are interested in GTO Wizard AI that we use to demonstrate In the Muck, hit hashtag Wizard in the chat or click the link in the description below. You guys will not regret it. I promise you. It's one of the best study tools I've ever used, bar none. Melissa, you're going to get on the studying. You're going to fire up the wizard. Yep. We're declaring it.
All right.
You're out there. You're in the streets. You just have to do it. Look, here's the thing. This is what I'm counting on.
I feel like if I'm going to win, it's going to be when I'm in this mindset.
Yes, agreed.
Because I'm like, fuck this. I don't really care.
Totally agree. Totally agree.
Other times I'm like, this could be my year.
I'm excited for sweating your day 3.
I don't give a shit.
Taking the Moneymaker approach. I love it.
Right. I'm excited to sweat your day 3. We can go halves on the birthing house. I'm very, very pumped for that.
Yeah, if I win something, I will contribute to the birthing house.
Now we're talking.
And you know what? Like, you can apparently sell your placenta for like $50K.
50 dimes.
Did you see that? I sent it to our Instagram
50,000?
group.
And then you get yourself a new dog.
I don't know. It might be fake news, but I saw it on Instagram Reels.
Because they make HGH out of it?
They make a lot of stuff.
I know they make HGH out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to pay $50K, but you got me at 5.
I mean,
no, we can sell mine.
That's the thing.
Right.
So you could get pregnant to get the placenta to sell it to get the $50K to get your dog cloned.
Yeah. Parlay the placenta sale into the dog clone.
People have been trying to talk me into having kids. This might be the...
Well, there's actually, like, if you're a woman, there's, like, kind of a lot of ways that you can make money if you don't want to have kids.
Just, like, harvesting your body.
If you, like, don't want to have kids, you could just, like, sell your eggs.
Right.
Yeah.
You could sell...
Even if you want to have kids, you can still sell your eggs,
placenta.
Right? Mm-hmm. Like, even if you want to have kids, you can still sell your eggs.
Yeah, you just have, like, a limited amount. So
right. Well, you got to start young. 21.
Start harvesting young.
I mean, like 21, you're just walking around, you're walking around with gold.
Full of eggs.
I mean, like,
so many eggs.
So many eggs.
Yeah, and then you just
like a chicken out the roost,
Yeah.
Fucking man, it's so funny. Girls, they're not economical. Like, all we talked about when we were 21 was jerking off in a cup and how much we get paid.
Yeah, but it's much more invasive if you're...
That's all we talked
of course.
You have to take hormones. You have to, like, shoot yourself up, and then they go in there and
not as simple, Bark. It's not as simple.
Well, that's why they get the big dollars, and we get $500.
It's like $9K.
How you know exactly how much you get?
No, well, there was a rumor floating around.
Are there some little Barkies running around out there somewhere we don't know about?
God forbid.
Oh my God, are there?
God.
I mean, there probably should be at this point. Law of large numbers. there was a rumor when I was in college. I don't know how true it was, but it was like, when social media first came to be, and one of like the big viral rumors that was floating around was that you could make $100K a year donating sperm.
Jeez.
What?
But like, I don't think that there's any truth to it. But it was like, if you
Everyone would do that.
if you
then.
continually donated, like, I don't know if it was month over month
You
or
gotta
week
have
over
like the
week.
primo,
They were
though,
doing-
right?
Right,
Like,
yeah.
it's probably like top of the line.
Yeah, yeah, just an Adonis,
Yeah.
130 IQ.
Yeah, and they're all moving
Jawline.
like crazy.
They're all
Right.
moving.
Yeah, they're all very active.
Yeah,
Very active.
yeah,
Yeah.
Nobody's running into walls in this
No.
one. You know.
They're on like formation.
yeah. They're like in a straight line.
You put it under a microscope, it looks like a school of fish.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, all right, soldier.
They're making shapes like
Spelling letters.
Yeah.
Like arrows directed right for
Yeah,
the uterus.
yeah.
It's like, okay.
it's a tight run ship.
These are breeders. All right, I think that tangent will do it for us.
That should do it. For us.
As
You don't want to talk about
always.
shot
It's
taking?
late. It's late night, you know?
I think we'll save that one for tomorrow. As
different kind of
always,
shot taking.
we've done enough today. A lot of it's clear we're in the after dark slot.
Sparky, wear some fucking black and gold tomorrow, all right?
All right, I'll wear a little black and gold. Shout out to my man in Florida. I hope you're getting yours somewhere on the East Coast with that 97 unleaded up your ass. That's gonna do it for us. We're gonna be back again tomorrow in the late slot with Matt Hunt. We're gonna be doing Strat Chat. We might talk a little bit about shot taking during the WSOP, as well as a hand from Triton that he wanted to dissect three-handed from today's event. So look forward to that. We'll see you guys all 6 p.m. Pacific tomorrow.
Peace.
Peace.